Hi class, it's Mrs. Perrone. We're on page 54 of your Shiny Math book, and I'm going to save you a little time here. You're going to be pretty thankful. We're going to focus just on one problem on this page, which is problem number 2. And the reason is that we're a little short on time, and there's a problem that's very similar to this on your quiz, and I want to make sure that you know how to do it. So we are going to skip number 1. And we're going to skip number 3. So we're only solving one problem on this page. So you're welcome. Now would be a good time to pause the video and try to solve the problem on your own and play the video when you're ready to check your work. A clogged bathtub drains at a constant rate. The amount of water in the bathtub changes by negative 3.75 gallons in 1 hour. What is the change in the amount of water in the bathtub after 1/3 of an hour? So the water in the bathtub changes by negative 3.75 gallons. That means that it's draining. That's how much water you're losing in the bathtub every hour. And it's clogged, so the drain is not going very fast. That's not very much water to be losing after a whole hour of draining. So we want to know if it drains this much in 1 hour, how much does it drain? How much water drains after 1/3 of an hour? So let's see. We can solve this problem using a little bit of multiplication. So basically we want to know what is 1/3 of negative 3.75. Let me back up a little bit. So we want to know what is 1/3 of negative 3.75. And there's a really important little tidbit of information coming up, so listen carefully. When you see the word of in math, that is an indication that you will be multiplying. So the word of in math translates to multiplication. So if you want to know what is 1/3 of negative 3.75, you can find that by doing 1/3 times negative 3.75. And by the way, actually we'll just move on. So we want to know what's 1/3 of that. You can use your calculator to support you on this. You can actually type this in exactly as it looks. So use that BC button to input the fraction of 1/3 times negative 3.75. Make sure when you're inputting a negative number that you're using this white button down here and not the minus sign. You'll get an error if you try to use the minus sign to put in a negative number. So we want to know what is 1/3 of negative 3.75. And we get negative 1.25. So negative 1.25. If we want like a visual model to show what's going on here, we could use this little bar to represent a whole hour of bathtub drainage. So we know for the whole hour it's negative 3.75, but we don't want to know for the whole hour. We just want to know for 1/3 of an hour. So I want to know how much water is being lost in just 1/3 of an hour. And I can do that by taking this number here, multiplying it by 1/3, which is the same as dividing it by 3. So in each 1/3 of an hour, the bathtub loses 1.25 gallons of water. And I'm using a minus sign to represent that you're losing that water. It's being drained out of the tub. So every 1/3 of an hour, the bathtub drains negative 1.25 gallons. So the correct answer is option A. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in class.